Hey there, ho there. It's Jeff Gardner welcoming you to another Degrassi video. I'm doing the unprecedented step of actually doing a Degrassi video without showing my face, which is unusual because usually I talk to you face to face, if you will. But I actually the basis of this thing was made 18 days ago by StellarCascade. And for context, it's being taped on December 7th, 2021. So StellarCascade made a photo, and it had something to do with the Virgin TNG Raditch and the Chad DJ Raditch, about which would be the superior Raditch in a sense. So, anyway, I'll show you the picture, and then I'll talk about what other people said about this, and then I give you my 2 cents about it. So, this is the picture that StellarCascade made. I like it. Look at all these things about the Virgin TNG Raditch and the Chad DJ Raditch. So anyway, there were some funny things going on. Anyway, yeah, a lot of people talk about how Raditch was responsible for a few things and all that. Yeah, and somebody even made the comment about the fact that this is kind of Snake in a nutshell too. I agree, I totally agree. So anyway, Stellar Cascade aside, the fact of the matter is that StellarCascade made this great picture, the 2 eras of the Raditch thing. So with Chad DJ Raditch, let's go with the 80s style. He had a Chad 80s mustache, which could get him any woman in the universe. The question is, did it? I don't know. Greetings, aspiring scholars. So that teaches him about that he wanted to help the school. I'm going counterclockwise in a sense. Probably doesn't do cringe yoga alone in the gym. I don't know what he would do. You know that actually cares about his students. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like there's a few examples. All right, acknowledge that he was too hard on Yick and made amends with him. In the episode Test 123, Yick thinks that Raditch has it out for him, and so does a test to see if Raditch understands things. So he takes one of Stephanie's papers. Unfortunately, Raditch catches him at it, punishes both Yick and Arthur. And Arthur basically tells Yick that this is all your fault. Why did I get involved? Raditch is bad to you, but you've got to take responsibility for your ownership. So Arthur does this paper, which Raditch reads out loud in class, and then Raditch tells Yick that we should both work together, a clean slate. I won't insult you, and you try a little bit harder, and we can get along with each other. And they do, which was great. He held Joey back, being indirectly responsible for him and Caitlin getting back together. Because of the fact that, Joey lost a grade and was now in Caitlin's grade, allegedly. And, they were sitting close to each other. And that's when Joey got closer to Caitlin. I totally doubt that. But anyway, that's what they said. And then got promoted to vice principal for being a Chad. I guess in a sense that maybe he was promoted to vice principal because he liked the students and he helped the students out. Now, I'm not much on my internet slang because, I'm 36, so this new stuff is getting a little bit foreign to me. But I can probably guess that maybe he was a good person and all that. I mean, a Chad mustache means he's a nice guy and all that. It's not like a stern look. But for, the principal is Principal Lawrence, who was never seen on Degrassi. He was the unseen principal. And then all of a sudden, he becomes vice principal at Degrassi High. He didn't get promoted to vice principal at the junior school. He got promoted at the Degrassi High. So there's a little bit of a difference. So I say that, yeah, he was good with students and all that. It was VP and all that. Of course, the school literally burned down because it couldn't handle the power of DJ Raditch on the turntables. It is kind of funny because, Raditch would DJ some stuff, especially a few dances in junior high. But Degrassi Junior High burnt because of some inattentiveness towards Yick and Tessa Campanelli. And I can't believe it's the same Tessa who was involved in this school burning down, in a sense. No, wait, who did I say with Tessa? Did I say Yix or, did I say Scooter? I can't remember. But yeah, Scooter and Tessa were playing tag and then they made mistakes opening doors, certain doors, and then, the old fire alarm not working as well and, causing some things to burst and all that. So thankfully, no casualties and all that except for the school itself. Like, that was huge. And then he said, admitted to Joey that he generally likes him despite how insufferable Joey could be. I mean, he didn't like how Joey was just mad at him and all that. He did care about Joey's stuff because, he helped Joey out, especially when Joey failed a grade and all that. Raj said, come with me for help after school and I will be happy to help you. Despite the fact that Joey had a grudge against Raditch, especially when Degrassi High starts, that he's upset that Raj is the VP and thinking this can't be true. He's back at the junior high. But the junior high burned down or burnt up. So where was Raj going to go? And then, of course, strict but chill and can joke around. Yeah, it's funny. The funny thing is, what was that? Oh, I think the episode when Stephanie K gets thrown to the wolves and gets impeached in a sense. He's trying to look for a certain test, but he forgets it and he doesn't know where the test is and has to go to the office to get a carbon copy of when he was last year and then he had to write it on the board and all that. So he was like panicking and all that, which was funny and all that to see Raj in an awkward position and all that. So to me, I think that Chad DJ Raditch was such a good person in a sense. Raj even had the last line in the Degrassi Junior High thing, responding to Trish, the one with the mohawk, who said, "Would you like to dance, Mr. Raj?" Sure. So anyway, that's what happened. So now let's go to the other one. Let's go counterclockwise again on the left side to the picture. And the first one is Babyface. Now, actually, that's not completely true. In Next Gen, Raj did have a mustache, did have a beard in seasons 1 and 2. If you look at his stuff from seasons 1 and 2, he has a beard. He's not clean shaven until season 3 of Next Gen. So yeah, it's funny to see him. But I think Raj got rid of the mustache because of the fact that, I think he wanted to be more serious. And that leads to the next one. Looks like a generic Disney Channel sitcom principal. I don't know much about Disney Channel sitcoms and all that. But Degrassi's not a sitcom. Degrassi is a hard-hitting drama show that has some comedy in it, but Raj wasn't really played for laughs and all that. Season 1, he wasn't that bad. He wasn't seen a lot, but season 1 he was decent. Season 2 is when he started getting a little bit more miffed, and then time goes on, he gets more jaded. Doesn't DJ at the school dances, obviously, and does cringe yoga alone in the gym. It's funny how Raditch actually uses the time to do his exercise and all that. I think he's the only one at the school on the Saturdays and all that. And it's funny that Hazel's ends up seeing him and Raj is like, "What are you doing?" And then he says, "It's a Swiss ball from Switzerland," and he's very well spoken. But it's funny. I always knew you were a smart boy, Marco. Well, that was a line. Now, actually, even without the line was said in a deleted scene, but it was actually said by Marco after we had a scene about Liberty's hot tub, and then Marco just goes and says, "Always thought you were a smart boy, Marco." The weird thing is about that episode, Mercy Street, is that they do the hot tub thing, but it's right in between, them talking at the school. It's like, Manny and Liberty are at the hot tub already? What the fuck? Yeah, that's weird. So anyway, Marco is upset. Marco and Alex are both upset that Rick is back at the school after the events of season 3. And they talk to Raj, and the deleted scene, Raj says that Terry went to private school, doesn't know much of her, can't do her affairs, and then also says that to the best of his knowledge, he hasn't been charged with anything, so he's allowed to be at the school. And Raj goes on and says that as long as any student doesn't have a criminal charge, he or she should study at my school, like it or not. And then Marco's upset, and he and Alex leave. And Marco says, Raj goes, I always knew you were a smart boy, Marco. Like, fuck. Raditch, what the hell? So gets butthurt because JT and Liberty made a mean song about him. Well, he did cause a lot of problems himself. He wanted to cancel Dracula, not postpone Dracula because of the whole Rick situation. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of a time after Rick got shot and Rick died, and I understand Raditch, but the problem is, the fact is, like, he wants to cancel it. He should have just said we have to postpone it for a time being. There was nothing wrong with postponing it. I mean, the students probably would have understood as long as they could bring Dracula back. And of course, Raj would not know that back in his memory bank in Degrassi High, when Claude Tanner killed himself, it was right around the time of a play, like a cavalcade of things. And they said that they should have it on, but thanks to Spike, they should have it on and they should make it a benefit, and everyone agrees. If Raj went to the memory bank with that statement, I think Raj would have been in a better position. I think Raditch would have probably, understood things and said that, well, we could have it on, but we better have something on. But it does go to show that Raj is not really helping the students out in the aftermath and all that. And that's not good because, we see the clear indication that Raj is not what he said he was going to do and fix this problem. Raj screwed everything up. And then JT and Liberty are upset that Raj would be such a dick. So they do the Raditch's song, because now Raj wants a musical about how good Degrassi is. I mean, it's kind of a PR move. I mean, I can understand Raditch's motives, but it just didn't work out. The drama club refused to sing it. Alex basically says, I'm all about rebellion, but not enough to get me expelled. And Raditch basically, and it's like, Raditch is putting pressure on the students. Why? So anyway, Raditch is upset that the drama club backed out. JT and Liberty write a song. Well, JT sings a happy song to Raditch. Raditch likes it, but Liberty says that's not the song we practice, and decided to skewer Raditch. And Raj is not too pleased and wants Liberty and JT to rewrite it in detention. But of course, that leads to another thing. Indirectly responsible. I know I'm skipping over one, but indirectly responsible for JT and Liberty getting together, which leads to JT death. That puts 2 deaths on his hands. I dealt that with the JT and Liberty situation, with JT's death. Because JT and Liberty worked together when JT got stabbed. JT was with Mia, but then decides to leave Mia for Liberty. I mean, the guy was right when he said that JT should have let go of Liberty. But, how was he supposed to know he was going to die? So that's the problem. And of course, Raditch throws JT and Liberty in detention. And then a few days later, he's gone himself. So that was probably the last freaking straw. And of course, he mishandles the Rick situation. Everyone knows that. I mean, he mishandled it from the start. By allowing Rick to come back to Degrassi, no strings attached as it seemed. Rick said he did get some help from Sauve, but where's the proof? Where's the fucking proof? Pardon my language. Anyhow, yeah, he mishandled it. He didn't allow Marco and Alex to help him fix the situation. I mean, he was honest and all that, but I just wish the rest of the school knew. He basically blasted Emma, saying, stay out of this issue. This is not one of your stupid crusades. Which leads me to believe that he still is butthurt about Emma in season 2, Fight for Your Right. That Emma does back down from saying she feels bad for Sheila and the cafeteria people about the cafeteria food fight caused by Emma. Well, or Raj seems, or it seems with Raj. But Emma basically said that, I'm sorry for that, but I've been heard about free speech, and I've been told to to say this or else face suspension. So I'm going to take the suspension. And Raj is upset that Emma turned tail and basically went against him. And Raj probably is thinking that now that this is happening, now the inmates are going to run the asylum. And Raj probably figures that way, and so he has to make a mark. And some people say that Saturday detention was basically a way for Raj to gain control of the school back. It did lead to two relationships and someone being ignored, especially Toby. But yeah, I mean, you gotta say that. But the fact of the matter is mishandling it. And the thing is, the one guy who said that, the one girl, I guess, probably in one of Unusually Eric's videos said that, Rad should have said something about Rick thing, either assembly or over the video system, and I think students might have understood. But no, he left it alone. And one of my theories is that Raj was worried about students rushing to the police station to destroy Rick and undermining him. Of course, that's not completely true, but it's true. So yeah, he screwed up Rick, especially in Time Stands Still Part 1. Rick wants to talk to him about putting Jimmy off the Wacky Brain team because Jimmy's a tormentor. And Raj basically takes Rick's stuff for face value, and Rick says he has no qualms about being my friend, he's bothering me. Not saying the magic word bullying. And then Raj basically tells Rick to find a better way to make friends with Jimmy. That's how he takes it, and that's how I think I would take it too. Here's the thing, though. It's understandable. Rick did himself in. I mean, everyone knows that, or should know that. But Raj could have said, well, if this keeps happening, come back and see me, but not right now. But no, he was a bit snippy, and Snake took him to task. That second deleted scene. I mean, Raditch did say after the Painted Feathers that someone should come forward. I'll find you. And then he figures he has the answers getting to Spinner, because Spinner chicken noised at Rick. And then Raj tells Rick to leave. Rick says, I'm going to my locker, come back. And Raj says, just leave afterwards. And then Snake takes him to task, and Raj says, I know this is a misquote, but I like this version better. This is not preschool, and making friends is not part of the curriculum. Of course, the line is, this is not daycare, but preschool and daycare are almost one and the same in this context. So then, of course, that's why Spinner says Raditch knows and all that. And of course, Snake took Raditch to task. Raditch was correct when he said, how was I supposed to know one student was going to overreact to some paint? He's right. But Snake says, Raditch, you should have helped him out. And then, that was his biggest mistake. Like, he mishandled the Rick situation. And then, I don't know if the aftermath attributed to his departure. I think it might have, but it's kind of gray. I mean, I just wish I knew for sure if the aftermath was adding on to Raditch being dumped from his position, or it was just enough was enough. But I mean, yeah, like, gets transferred after fumbling the Rick situation. And then StellarCascade says, probably just fired it, too embarrassed to say it. I honestly think that might be true too. I never thought of that. Maybe he was fired and didn't want to say it. Obviously, he's not going to tell the students he got canned. He doesn't want the students to know his mistakes. Like, what? Raditch, you have nothing to lose. Just tell them you screwed up the situation with Rick. Tell the students that I got canned because of my stupidity. They're not going to destroy you. I mean, you're going on to your next endeavor. Like, honestly. But the fact of the matter is that Raditch just did himself in. And, it's possible that the school board may have canned him after, talking with the Murrays. Maybe the Murrays wanted Raditch gone because, despite the fact that their son's a school shooter and shot somebody and got shot himself, that Raditch mishandled the situation. And he did. And maybe the school board boss possibly got rid of Raditch, or at least reassigned him. I know things in 2004 are a whole lot different than 2021. So simply put, I think they didn't have the gall to fire him. They just reassigned him. I think they would have definitely he definitely would have been fired in 2021 and canceled. But the fact for me is that, you know, yeah, like Raditch mishandled the Rick situation. I understand that. But not everything was his fault with the Rick situation. Raditch at least didn't bully or put the paint and feathers on Rick or teased him. Raditch ignored him, but yeah, he wasn't a complete bully to Rick. Maybe an inadvertent bully at that, but he's not the one who wanted to destroy Rick no matter what happened, even if Rick tried to apologize. I mean, he wasn't Spinner, Jay, and Alex. The fact of the matter is that he mishandled the situation. The school board probably reassigned him, thinking if they fire him, then Raditch probably would snap back at the school board saying that, you told me to bring Rick back, and maybe the school board would have been in deep trouble. And then, of course, the school board put the zero tolerance thing on Degrassi and maybe stripped him of funding. Maybe that's why Hatzalakos had to bring the Jay and Silent Bob movie in. I know it probably was a PR move as well, but, can it be both? So anyway, thanks for watching this video. I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.